ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ विदिताखिलशास्त्रसुधाचलदे महितोपनिषत्कथितार्थनिधे हृदये कलये विमलं चरणं भव शङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं। समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो नमः। मण्डूकमहर्षे अथर्वऋषये गौडपादाचार्याद्य शङ्कराचार्यगुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। अथर्ववेदान्तर्गत माण्डूक्य उपनिषद शान्तिमन्त्रः। With all devotion and commitment and prayer, do the chanting. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवांसः तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अथ चतुर्थ अलात शान्ति प्रकरणम्। ॐ न निर्गता अलातात्ते द्रव्यत्वाभावयोगतः विज्ञानेऽपि तथैव स्युः आभासस्य विशेषतः विज्ञाने स्पन्दमाने वै नाभासा अन्यतो भुवः न ततोऽन्यत्र निस्पन्दात् न विज्ञानं विशन्ति ते न निर्गतास्ते विज्ञानात् द्रव्यत्वाभावयोगतः कार्यकारणताभावात् यतो अचिन्त्याः सदैव ते। This is grace of God, Gurus, that we are in the study of this ultimate Mandukya Upanishad. Very sublime, great, and divine. We may not be having arahata qualification for it right now, yet nothing wrong in getting an exposure so that it becomes a laksha for us. When we keep the Mandukya Upanishad theme of Ajatavada, Ekamevadvyam Brahmavada as our ultimate goal, because it is ultimate goal also, that we will be lifting ourselves from the so-called world which we thought as the goal and not able to achieve it, we were continuously suffering. Spiritual goals and aspirations always pull us away from the impossible and unrequired goals of the worldliness. That's one benefit. Therefore, listen to this Upanishad and sharpen your intellect and lift the intellect's level of analysis and understanding. And really, when we start living from that higher understanding standpoint, we can see the problems get dissolved. Like the topic which is in the present context. The biggest thing. It's such a sublime one. If you look from one angle of Shraddha, you will see every problem gets resolved in this conviction. What is that? The world is not born at all. Now stick to this idea. Will you have any desire for the world? Will you run behind the world? Will you label the world? Will we differentiate the world? We don't, because all that is done by us because we took the world is created. When you say world is not at all created, automatically all of them will go away. No, it is logically achieved. If you reach to that logical way of conclusion or not, even at the surface value, you use this principle, you are liberated. It's just like our Indian dishes or Indian lunch thali. In all the Indian lunch thali में जो खाने का चीज है, these are acting as the ingredients required for the body's all nourishment and also for the immunity and strength and joy. But do you know that which thing is doing what? Without knowledge, when we are eating food, it is happening or not? Proteins, vitamins, carbohydrates, digestive things, everything is there in our thali of any state of India. प्रॉपर थाली है तो हम सब जानते नहीं कि इसमें प्रोटीन है बट खा रहे तो हो रहा है कि नहीं. In the same way, detailedly logically according to Mandukya Upanishad, arriving to the conclusion, therefore Brahma Tattva can never be created as the world is never created, whether you arrive logically or not. But on the strength of faith, if you consume this idea, the world is not born. The consequently, all the worldly involvement go away. That is called mukti. Both will go. The desire will go away, the aversion will go away. दोनों चला गया संसार. That's what the idea. Just an example we are giving. Okay. So now in this Alatha Shanti Prakarana, we are seeing the what is that total absence of the Jagat Ekameva Advayam Brahma with the example of Alatha. Now in these slokas 48, 49, 50 are given the examples explanation detailed. From 51, 52, 53, especially 51, 52, the explanation regarding the self are told in correspondence in accordance with the example of the Alaat. Alaat के एग्जाम्पल के एग्जैक्टली ये भी है ऐसा बता रहे. And in these two slokas only the entire vicharana is there, by which only Parabrahma is there, other than him, entire Jagat, Stula Sukshma Karana, how much ever solid, realistic it may be appearing to you, but it is not born at all, not there at all. This is the biggest hydrogen bomb type of thought, which is ultimate truth, is conveyed in these two slokas. This is very powerful, but it needs little contemplation, little courage to accept these facts. Then, when we live these facts, LIV experience comes to us. And not many things. Alatha example and Vijnana example. We explained it yesterday also, day before also, day also. Again, आज भी तो टच करेंगे. Alatha, Spandana, Rujuvakra, Abhasa. These are the first three things. In the Alatha, there are no abhasas. When the spandana is happening, abhasas are there. When the spandana is stopping, abhasas are going away. Second point. Third point, whether Alatha is moving, spandita or not moving. In both conditions. The position of the abhasas of Rujuvakra, that is the topic to be discussed about. Be attentive. What is the explanation here given? Two sets of explanation are given. In the second set of explanation, only one thought. In the first set of explanation, there are four thoughts. What are the four thoughts? First and foremost, be attentive. While the Alatha was moving, be attentive. The abhasas have not come out of the Alatha. Second, while the Alatha is moving, the abhasas have not come from somewhere else. Third, when the Alatha stopped moving, the abhasas have not gone somewhere else. When the Alatha is stopped moving, the abhasas have not entered into the Alatha. So, कहीं से आया नहीं, कहीं गया नहीं. And there is no relation between the Alatha and Abhasa. Because this is the second set of one thought. Why? The Abhasa has no dravya in it, a matter. That will be explained in the subsequent slokas कि द्रव्य से द्रव्य आता है, अद्रव्य से अद्रव्य आता है, द्रव्य से अद्रव्य से द्रव्य नहीं आएगा. It will be spoken after two slokas. Now the point is what? Then when it has not come from anywhere and it is appearing when the Alatha is moving and it has no connection at all with the Alatha, Then how to accept the appearance of this? Only one thing is what? You can't understand it. The intellect need not understand it. The intellect cannot accept it. Intellect cannot approach to that. Was to say that is unreal. Stick to the reality that is alatha, not to the abhasa. When you look at the alatha, abhasas have gone. The solution is not in finding where from the abhasas are coming. Solution is dissolving the abhasa and recognizing the reality. Hold on to that. That is why two things are said at the end by Vedanti. What are they? One is they are achintya. Second is what? They are asatya. Achintya because answer is not there, because all possible answers logical we have put. None of those things are justifying the presence of them, but still you are seeing them. Therefore, achintya. And then asatya, when you see the satya, the truth, the reality, then this goes away. Therefore, asatya. So achintya is never a solution. Asatya is a solution. Why? When it is asatya, all problems from it go away. Because it is asatya, everything is not lost. Because satya is always there, the Atma or Parabrahma or the Alatha here. Okay, example is understood. Now, same we'll talk about Vijnana Atma without changing. Same thing we are repeating, but using the word the Vijnana Atma instead of Alatha. Again, same I'll repeat. So Vijnana Atma is there. It is pure consciousness. That is there, pure consciousness as it is. There's no abhasa of the entire Jagat here. The Rujuvakra Abhasa here is example of Rujuvakra Abhasa of the Alata is entire Jagat. Entire Jagat is two. Grahya, Grahana. We have already seen Grahana, Grahaka Abhasa. फिर भी बार बार मैं बताऊं कि everyday the perceiver and the perceptions is the entire Jagat. So at the pure consciousness level, that is Vijnana Atma level, Vijnana means Atma, conscious self. When it is not doing Spandana, there is no the entire Jagat created of Grahana Grahaka or Graha Grahaka. When it is doing Spandana, then the Grahakami, the Grahana are created. This Grahakami and Grahaka created when the consciousness Spandana is happening, not from somewhere else. At the Samadhi level, when the Spandana stops, this Grahana Grahaka doesn't go somewhere else. They doesn't go into the Atma also. At the very outset, when the Parama Atma is doing Spandana, these Grahana Grahaka have not come from Paramatma also. Why they have not come Paramatma? Because in this Grahana Grahaka Vastus, other than Paramatma, independently, there is no Dravya. Listen carefully. What is there in them then, if then other than Paramatma there is no independent Dravya? Paramatma alone is there. Point one. Second, this Paramatma is not a Dravya. Self is not a matter. And in these abhasas, other than the self, there is no independent matter. Other than self, there is no independent matter. Self alone is there, and self is not a matter. Therefore, when it is not a matter, then Karikarana Sambandha cannot be there. This is the final thing which is cut, umbilical cord. Therefore, the Chaitanya Vijnana Atma is a Karana, and then Grahana Grahya is a Karya. This Sambandha also is removed now. This will be happening only in logical ultimate level of contemplation. If that level we don't reach, then we will accept and live life according to the lower level of logic, which is functionally correct. Vyavaharika drushti se correct. And all Shastras, except the Advaita of the Vedanta and in that Mandukya level, they again accept the Karya Karana, like we study the Upanishads of Prashna, that he says where from the entire world came. He says it is from Paramatma only through Rai and Prana. When you study all of that, at that level, the Rai Prana Paramatma से आए, Rai Prana से परमात्मा जगत बना, तो परमात्मा ही जगत के कारण के रूप में वहां दिखा रहे. And that dikkhana is again and again said 10 times only to take our attention towards the Lord from the Jagat. Ultimately, what Karika Kara says, final, what is that? Paramatma is not the cause of the Jagat. Jagat has no cause other than Paramatma. Therefore, Jagat is not at all there. What is there is Paramatma. Then where from Jagat is coming? Jagat is coming from the non-acceptance of this knowledge in your own mind. When you accept this knowledge and abide in it, you will only say there is no Jagat other than Parabrahma. समझ गए बात? You are not accepting the rope as rope in your mind. Therefore, for you, on the rope, the snake is seen in such a way that the seen snake is real, rope is not at all there. And you say snake hi to hai. And once you see the snake, the fear of the snake, all of them automatically will be there. That will be the next sloka, which is very important. We will see that. But from Alatha, what is to be understood? And consequently, or correspondingly, from the Vijnana Atma and what is its relation to the Jagat, that is understood. As much the avasas appear real, so much the entire Vyavahara is appearing to us real because of non thinking. When you think deeply logically, and the conclusions when you arrived after logical thinking, on the basis of that, when you do meditation, in the deep meditation level, you reach yourself. When the self is reached, you yourself see there's never creation was at all, is at all, will be at all. So आत्मा के अज्ञान में ही जगत का उत्पत्ति का बीज है. आत्मज्ञान होने बाद जगत न कभी था, न है, न ही रहेगा. दिखेगा वो अज्ञान में, लाइक सोने में कोई आभूषण कभी था नहीं, कभी है नहीं, कभी रहेगा नहीं रहेगा. सोने को सोने के रूप में नहीं जानोगे तो यू विल ओनली इमेजिन द आभूषण which were never there, but they are appearing. We have rejected. No, the appearance also is not right. Correct. What is appearance is not right. That the gold has no forms and names, and the forms and names cannot exist without the gold. Then where are the names and forms? They are unreal. How are they born? In the ignorance of the fact, the reality that gold is without any form and name. Gold is, but without form and name. So the Vijnana Atma is, but without any Nama Rupa Atma ka Jagat. When you don't stick to this knowledge, you will accept the Nama Rupa, then you will continue suffering with all the samsara subsequently created. So that is what he says. Vijnane spandamane vai na abhasa anyato bhuvaha. When the Vijnana spandana is happening, the abhasa of the grahana grahaka never came from any other place. Na tataha anyatra nispandat. It has not gone into somewhere else when the spandana stopped. Na vijnanam vishantite. They don't enter into the conscious self. When the movement stops, the entire world. That peculiarity is the one which Karikakara could catch and is teaching. That's the funniest thing in the world. परमात्मा के प्रेजेंस में सब होता है, परमात्मा कुछ भी नहीं कर रहे और ये परमात्मा के बिना नहीं कर सकते. Everywhere it is so. Electricity is not glowing the bulb. In the presence of electricity, without electricity doing anything, the bulb is glowing which will not go without electricity. This is called relationless relationship. Very funny, is it not? If you can understand it there and accept it, what is accept? The relationless relation. Without electricity, the bulb will not glow, but in the electricity, there is no bulb. What a funny thing it is. In the same way, in the pure Paramatma, Vishwa is not there, but entire Vishwa is in the presence of Paramatma. The Vishwa present there or glowing a bulb there is utility value they have. Only Vyavaharik. Absolutely में जाओ तो being self is sufficient to be blissful, which is ultimate goal. Every projection is only for entertainment in the beginning, but it became cause of problem, then you have to go back. जो गाड़ी आप खरीदते हो खुशी सुख के लिए, अब वही दुख देने लग रहा है तो आप बेच देते हो कि नहीं? In the same way, the whole creation came to entertain us, but when it becomes a cause of problem, creation is for recreation. Instead of recreation, it starts the creator of the problem. Then you have to transcend the creation. एक समय जब आबादी नहीं होता था, 10-10 बच्चों को पैदा करो कहते थे. बट नाउ इट हैज ग्रोन सो मच कि दो जो बच्चे कम से कम बच्चे हैं उनको प्रमोशन वगैरह देते हैं. इज इट नॉट? इन द सेम वे क्रिएशन के बारे में. These three are understood. Neither they came from somewhere else, nor they go somewhere else, nor they enter into into the Vijnanatma, the entire world. Same way, na nirgatate Vijnanat. And the first point should be told in the first, we told at the end is, they have not come even from the Vijnana Paramatma, the entire Abhasa. Why is it so? Dravyatva Abhava Yogata. This is the point you have to understand. What is the point we understood? The entire creation has no dravya of its own independence. So, every nook and corner of creation of Stula Sukshma Karana, inherently it has its own dravya or the Atma of Paramatma only as Satchit. सच्चित परब्रह्म परमात्मा ही पूरे विश्व के हर एक कोने कोने में है. इस सच्चित परमात्मा के अलावा उस विश्व जो नाम रूपात्मक है उसका अपना द्रव्य नहीं है. Now what is the logic here? अपना द्रव्य नहीं है मतलब it is not independent. Like when a mother is conceived and gave birth, will she give birth to herself or to a child totally separate from her? She'll have to give a birth to a child totally separate from. In the same way, from the Chaitanya Atma, if a Jagat has to come, Chaitanya Atma itself cannot be born like the mother coming from the mother. Then it should come something else like a child, no? Child should exist. बट ईज द चाइल्ड जैसे एग्जिस्ट होता है मदर से जन्म लेकर वैसा फ्रॉम द परमात्मा इफ द जगत इज बॉर्न इज द जगत इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं क्योंकि उसका कोने कोने में सारा द्रव्य उसका है ही नहीं है ना वो तो परमात्मा ही है. Therefore, what should be the logical conclusion? From Paramatma, Jagat has not come. In the absence of this knowledge, you are saying Jagat has come. And you say Jagat is real. Then you keep on attributing various things to Jagat. This is called Bhayankara Maya. Dravyatva Abhava Yogataha. Then we said already, just now, what is Karya Karanata Abhava? This was proved in the earlier Prakarana and in this Prakarana, first 20 shlokas, that the Paramatma is Karana, Jagat is Karya, is to take our attention towards Paramatma, accepted in the beginning. But the higher level, Paramatma is Aja, Ajara, Avyakrita, Amrita. Therefore, he cannot be the Karana for the Jagatu. That is what with so many shlokas it was discussed in the earlier. जो सांख्यवादी और न्याय वैशेषिकवादी उन दोनों के द्वारा कार्य कारणवाद therefore सृष्टिवाद is rejected and ajatavada we entered. No, that is what he is referring. कार्य कारणता अभावात. This very sublime thought both in the example of alatha and also in the point of vijnana atma. Remember, for the alatha, for the abhasas of rujuvakra, though the alatha is moving, that movement of alatha means giving an appearance, that's different. But neither the alatha nor the movement is the karana for it, for the abhasas. This is where you have to do the chedana. If it is not the karana, then where from it has come from? Nowhere. If it has not come from anywhere, then how it is appearing? That is what we are saying. It is achintya. The highest logician, Gaudapada himself says it is achintya. That is not his failure. That is how the achintyata Maya Shaktis function. Achintya Maya Shakti. That from the Maya, the intellect which came, this cannot break that shackle. But that is not, therefore the problem cannot be ended. ऐसा नहीं है. There क्या होता है? When you discover the self, you won't see the abhasas, then the question will not come कि where from they have come. That's what I said at the ultimate level of Vedanta. Question problem का समाधान नहीं होता, problem का dissolution होता है. The question is not answered, question is dissolved. Now, dissolution of question is as good as an answer, no? Like you can never answer where from the snake came. Any answer is wrong. For the reason is snake never came. But the question will go away when you discover the rope. When you discover the rope, you don't ask about question about snake because कहाँ है तो पूछेंगे ना नहीं है तो कहाँ सवाल ही खत्म हो जाएगा. That's how the Vedanta dissolves all problems because it dissolves the presence of anything other than Paramatma. And anything other than Paramatma will be a problem because solution is only in Paramatma Anubhuti because he is Ananda Swarupa. He is in Chit and see Satchidananda is solution. Other than him, everything is Asat Achit Ananda. Anything Asat Achit Ananda is Dukkha Karana, only Dukkha is Bandhana. Therefore हर चीज सच्चिदानंद होना चाहिए या सच्चिदानंद के अलावा और कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए. In our experience, this is conclusion. Everything is Sachidananda, and there is nothing other than Sachidananda. If anything is there, that should be Asat, Achit, Anananda. When it is Asat, it will not be permanent. If it is Achit, it is Jada. It is Anananda, it is giver of Dukkha. That's why everyone are trying to get Sachidananda only through the things or beings or activities. But that we don't know we are searching this. And we don't know that what we are searching is where already. Vedanta turns our attention from the external to internal. What you are searching is you only. What you are seeking is you only. When you discover yourself, all searching, seeking goes away. You are you. That is called the meaning of Tattvam Asi. That what you are searching is Tvam Asi, already you are that. So don't search it as it outside, search it inside. You need to search it, seek only. You have to seek Vinay Karna, you are that, get abided. Ultimate Vedanta is nothing to do. You are Brahman, you accept it, establishing that, gone. A very one moment liberation. Spiritual Vedanta mein liberation is momentous and instantaneous. One moment. You are not that, you are this, accept karo, khatam ho gaya liberation. You are liberated now. I am Atma, हो गया liberation. और कुछ करना नहीं है, बस मैं आत्मा हूँ, आत्मा रहो. Whatever world there, ये सब नहीं है बोल रहे ना. That is what is answered in the next two shloka, which is nowhere answered as perfectly pakka answered here by Karika Kara. So up to this point, what is that? The seeming effects called as Karya Karana are not the effects of Paramatma because Paramatma can never be the Karana. क्योंकि उनमें कारणता नहीं है इसलिए वो किसी का कार्य का कारण नहीं बनते. सेकंड इज व्हाट इंडिपेंडेंटली द कारण जिसको आप कार्य कह रहे हो द एंटायर जगत इट हैज नो द्रव्य ऑफ इट्स ओन एंड दैट इज द फनीनेस ऑफ इट वेदर इट इज अलाथ का आभास कहो या जगत का आभास हो उसमें द्रव्य है ही नहीं फिर भी दिख रहा है. दैट इज व्हाट यू हैव टू सॉर्ट आउट. So what is to be sorted out without the Alatha or Vijnanatma being the Karana, yet the Rujuvakra Abhasa in the example and Grahana Grahaka Abhasa in this exam in this life are appearing which are not having any dravya itself. It is achintya, therefore I need not worry about it. I must be identifying with the unchangeable karya karana rahita atma. These four things, when you accept, you understood Vedanta. Again, I am explaining. Only self I will tell you, I will not tell the example. He Vijnana Atma itself, without becoming as cause, in its presence, the abhasas of Grahana Grahaka are happening. That we are seeing. That is all no. But these happening abhasas are happening without the self being karana, one point. Second is, in them there is no dravya at all. Third thing, then from where they have come, this answer cannot be given, therefore it is achintya. But what can be done is, the Parama Atma, the Vijnana Atma, when you establish in it, then Karya Karana Jagat disappears, then all questions end. That is why the loud cry of all the rishis, my dear friends, please have faith in me. First reach to the Atma, then you ask the question. Every question I will answer you. First reach to the Atma, they say. And the thing is, when you reach to the Atma, Other than that, there is nothing at all for you to ask a question. And without reaching the Atma, like in this example, no question regarding the creation can be fully, completely, perfectly, satisfactorily can never be answered. So we get satisfied with the answer, but never the answer is satisfiable. Like in an interview, the answer given by the questioned by is never satisfactory to them. But they say पहले बंदे से थोड़ा अच्छा कहा इसलिए इसको 2 मार्क ज़्यादा डालते हैं. Like even in correcting the mark sheet or the examination answers of the children also, we do that. पहले वाले को हम बना के एक स्टैंडर्ड करके उसके हिसाब से दूसरे तीसरे को देखते हैं, उसका राइटिंग अच्छा था उससे अच्छा है इसलिए आधा मार्क ज्यादा दे दो. Otherwise, it's never satisfactory. So too in Gita competition. First child how he spoke, or any of the child who seemingly better spoke. Keeping him as maximum, we talk about or we make marks about other children. We may give 25 marks out of 25, but that doesn't mean that fellow is perfect. This 25 fellow is great because the other 20 children are useless. This fellow, when he goes to next level, in which that 25 participants are there, he'll be the last number. That is the different levels of competition. The one who appeared to be perfect in the small group is absolutely found to be non-perfect on the next level. What I am saying here, examples are given for what? Other than Atma as an answer, no answer is satisfactory in the world. But काम चलाओ, काम चलता है, व्यवहार चलता है. Everywhere so, no friend is satisfactory, but काम चलता है. Nobody is happy, satisfied with wife or children or even guru or shastra or satsang or japa or puja or bhojana. सब हम काम चला रहे हैं. इसमें satisfaction क्यों नहीं होगा? Because it's not true. It is not real. It is not ultimate. Only in the truth, real, ultimate, because it's truth, real, and ultimate, there is satisfaction, contentment. It is such a contentment when you reach it, that other than it, you don't see only, you don't need the seeing of anything. Because it's complete, contented. Like a child fully getting attention love from parents, he's so contented. He will not have any uncle, uncle. I'm contented, Baba. So to a disciple, when he gets full love and blessing from the Guru, he will not look at anybody other Guru. क्यों मेरे गुरु सब देख रहे हैं? सो तो आत्मानुभव कंप्लीट है इसलिए उसको किसी और विचार होगा ही नहीं. इट्स अ कंप्लीटनेस. आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस? व्हाट आर द मेन थिंग्स वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड? द्रव्यत्व अभाव, कार्य कारणता अभाव, केवल आभास, and in the knowledge of the reality the avasa goes away, taking all questions with it. Don't try to ask the question regarding the jagat. Ask the question regarding the self. Self's nature is told. That is experienced on the state of contemplation meditation. On meditation, when it is experienced, you only will know. You alone are there, nothing other than you. कहाँ से जागृत आया, कहाँ से स्वप्न आया, कहाँ से सुषुप्ति आया, कहाँ से अज्ञान शुरू हुआ, कहाँ से वासनाएं आए, कौन सा पहला वासना है. दीज आर ऑल टेम्पररीली इंटेलेक्ट को सेटिस्फाई करने वाले कुछ आंसर्स होंगे, बट नन ऑफ द आंसर्स आर कंप्लीट बिकॉज क्वेश्चन इटसेल्फ इज सच फनी वन. And all questions end only in the experience of self. That is the meaning of yadgatvan anivartante. That is the meaning of kasmin bhavo vijnate sarvamidam vijnatam bhavati. That is the meaning of कि यज्ञानात् नेह भूयो न ज्ञातव्यम अवशिष्यते यत् प्राप्य न किंचित वांछति. That is the meaning. Everywhere what we study in various Upanishads, that is the thing. Having known which, this word, विद्यते हृदय ग्रंथि छिद्यन्ते सर्व संशयाः क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि तस्मिन् दृष्टे परावरे. Knowing God, you know everything, that is the meaning. What is the meaning of knowing God, you know everything? The meaning is when you know God, you know everything is God only. There is nothing other than Him. It is not that when you know God, you will know physics, chemistry, etc. You will know what is that only God is there. There's no physics, chemistry. Physics, chemistry are there in the physical and chemical world. In Paramatma, physical, chemical world ही नहीं है, तो physics, chemistry कहाँ होगा? Now the next sloka tells us the physics, chemistry, astrology, zoology, all of them are, you are insisting, therefore they are there. Like in the space, you are insisting that it is east, therefore it is accepted as east. Otherwise, there is no east or west or north or south. Like you call him as your friend, you are insisting, otherwise there is no friend. X-ray करो, friendship नहीं होता उसमें. बायोप्सी करो, friendship नहीं होता. और थोड़ा मिसअंडरस्टैंड हो गया तो 40 साल का फ्रेंडशिप 1 मिनट में चला जाता है. तो 40 साल का फ्रेंडशिप सिर्फ लटक रहा था, वो रियल नहीं है. ये है ना. Now we are taking divorce after 50 years of marriage. अरे इतना लेट. देर आए दुरुस्त है. See, this is how Vedanta first frustrates us by taking away world. Second, it again frustrates us by giving such logics examples which are neither understandable nor acceptable. And after final frustration, it relieves us from all frustrations and stresses if you continuously loyally hold on to it. And the amount of frustration, lessness, freedom which Vedanta can give cannot be given by any other sadhana. Because you, the self, which is all pervading, with that you are identified. Beautiful would be that experience. Even intellectually समझ में आने समय ही इतना आनंद हमको मिलता है. And if you abide in that, you would dance with ecstasy. I'm that. Shivoham, Shivoham, Chidanand Rupa Shivoham. Narayanoham, Narayantakoham, Purantakoham, Purushoham Isha. Like in Narayan Suktam, Sa Brahma, Sa Shiva, Sahari, Sendra, Sokshar, Paramaswara. Everything is that Brahma only. I am that Brahma. Sarvam hi etat Brahma. I am Atma Brahma. देखो what a expression of joy it is. Everything is Brahman and that Brahman is me. ये ऐसे हम chanting रोते रोते करते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. It is an अनुभव of the infinitude. Just like Sri Ram, Jai Ram. It is not a frustrating cry. It is meaning is the Rama with all his knowledge power is victorious in the outer world and inner world. His victory is my victory. That joyful celebration is the chanting of that mantra, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. If you don't know that meaning, that joyful chanting will be very crying and miserable only. In the same way, this mantra. Yetat sarvam yetat brahma, ayam atma brahma. That is why, other than the Vedantic experience, nothing can really give us that full bliss and satisfaction. In all other places, temporary answers are given, and no answer is perfect. All questions end in recognizing the self without asking for answers. In the ignorance of self, every question will give birth to next question. It will never be a final answer. Be strong in this conviction and pursue by thought, word, deed. In sense, pursue only those satsangas, study only those texts, contemplate on only that truth, and try to experience only that self. Then you are absolutely pakka sadhak without any digression or distraction. That's what the level of Kena Upanishad. Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhi Nedamedo Pasate. They block all the ways in such a way that only one way is open to you, that of Brahma. That's called the Upanishads do. They close every door. यहाँ तो क्रिएशन का डोर ही क्लोज कर रहे हैं. मांडुक्य का लेवल है. एक ही डोर ओपन है, डिस्कवर अहम ब्रह्मास्मि एकमेवाद्वितीयम्. बस. Like in some temples, while exit, all the doors are closed, only one exit they open. When we have to go from there, compulsorily you have to go through the entire shopping complex. So that you get tempted and you bite. That's how they intelligently they do. Many temples nowadays, in coordination with those shopkeepers, exit के जाने वाले दुकानों के द्वारा ही जाना पड़ेगा. There are many other doors, but they are blocked. In the same way, the Vedanta blocks all doors of misunderstanding and opens only one door of knowing the truth. Therefore, you will be liberated. But are we ready for that? It is subjective. So, we will see the bhashya of these two mantra today, which we chanted now. Vijnane spandamane vai nabhasa anyato bhuvaha na tatonyatra nismandat na vijnanam vishantite न निर्गतास्ते विज्ञानात् द्रव्यत्वाभावयोगतः कार्यकारणताभावाद् यतो चिन्त्या सदैव ते. This is a beautiful one. These 53, 54, 55 again, ultimate. 55 is a beautiful conclusion of 53, 54. Today we are at 51, 52. आज उस खत्म करें, कल 53, 54 में हम जाएंगे. What is the essence of 51, 52? See the bhashya, already we have explained. Again, alaatena samanam sarvam vijnanasya. So every explanation which is given for the Alatha example is similar for the Vijnana Atma also. Jaisa Mahatha, Vaisa Yaha bhi. So to every example, no? Just like in Rajju Sarva Bhranti, so it is Atmanatma Bhranti. Just like Rajata Shuktika Bhranti, so that the Atmanatma Bhranti. Just like Ushara and Mrugatrishna Bhranti, Atmanatma. Here also, just like Alatha example, so to Vijnana Atma. First you keep it in mind. Now explanation. What is that? There is one difference between these two. What is the difference? Ki sada achalatvam tu vijnanasya vishesha. Keep it in mind, it will be useful little later. What is that? The Shuddha Vijnanatma is sada achala. Alatha is achala. So achala, alatha chala. Alatha chalan हो रहा है, इसलिए आभास हुआ वहां. या चलन नहीं हो रहा है, फिर भी आभास हो रहा है. चलन नहीं होना, होना, इतना ही फर्क दोनों में. Abhasa is not infinite, therefore it's a space to move. But Paramatma Chaitanya Vijnana is everywhere. There is no space, there is no place where it is not there. Therefore, in that movement is not possible. Therefore, in the Alatha example, the Abhasas are somewhere outside the Alatha. In the example of Vijnanatma, there is nothing outside it. Itself is not moving. Inside it only there is an Abhasa. And that is only because you accept and insist. That will be explained later on. My acceptance and my insistence is creating world. Otherwise, there is no world. My acceptance that the rope is there, snake is there, my insistence that it is snake only is making the snake continue and give you the bhaya and dukkha. If you stop that insistence and do inquiry properly, when you discover the rope, snake is gone, fear is gone. In our life, everything is insistence only. Actually, it's after 3 slokas. This type of food insistence, this type of clothes insistence, this type of house it is insistence, this my friend's enemy. सब insistence ही है. छोड़ो तो सब छूट जाता है. क्यों छूट जाता है? Because it's not ultimate. Even aham dehasmi also is not real. It is an insistence. You leave it in nidra. Therefore, you are not insisting there. Therefore, you are entering to nidra and you are enjoying it. That will explain more detail. We may take one completely further tomorrow or day after. So here we are saying, other than the movement example and the Vijnanatma are same. Vijnanatma never even has, what is that? Movement spandanam. That Alatha has spandanam. That's only touching. You may ask question. Before we ask, Bhashyakara is himself is saying, कि इसमें मूवमेंट नहीं होगा. क्योंकि इसको मूव करने के लिए जगह ही नहीं, इसके अलावा और कुछ है ही नहीं. ये वाला. Now, sada achalत्वं तु विज्ञानस्य विशेषः. Now, interesting thing. जात्यादि आभासाः Vijnane achale kim krutaha? When the Vijnanatma is achala, then the jati, dravya or vastu and chala, these three kahan se aaye fir? Iti aha. Now the answer is given. Very interesting point. Karya karanata abhavatu. Please listen. Vijnanatma is a karana and the abhasas are karya. This relation is not there, which is proved already in so many slokas earlier. What is the question? First, let us ask the question. In the Alatha example, Alatha moved, Bhranti came. Or the Abhasa came. You are saying Vijnanatma is immovable, achala. Then how come the Bhranti came here? Or the Abhasa came? क्योंकि उसका इसका जब आप सेम एग्जाम्पल इसी के लिए आप कह रहे हो, whatever there in the example, they should be here also. And that's how you started also. Alatha spandamana and Vijnana spandamana. Suddenly you introduced a new thought that Vijnana never has spandana. Then when Vijnana never has spandana, where from these abhasas came? That is the question. There Alatha spandana, abhasas are appearing. Even though Karyakarana Sambandha is not there, still to some extent it is acceptable. ये तो और भी भयंकर है. विज्ञान is not at all moving, but the abhasas are happening. The answers are given systematically. Two, three only things are there to explain. First is what? Refer to the 20-30 slokas which are spoken. What was the essence? The Vijnana Atma can never be the Karana for anything. So twisting logics, examples, so many visa. Each one, no, I can't repeat all of them. Because it is not a Karana, therefore the spandanas of abhasas of the Grahana Grahaka ityadi are not Karya. पहले इसको सुनो. Therefore, what happened? Second line, Janya Janakatva Anupavatte. Therefore, it is Janaka, this Vijnanatma, and this Janita or Janya, these Abhasas. This relation cannot be. When that is not there, it is not the created nor it is a creator, then how? What can be the relation? Relation is what? Abhava Rupatvat. You have to come to a conclusion first from this logic that it is Abhava. It is not at all there. Now your question is answered. Then how come they are seen even if they are abhava? Answer is achintyate yataha sada eva. In every case, wherever you go at that level, the answer is achintya for the question that when it is not become an effect or born, how it is still seen. That is called achintyata. Means, again I'll explain. What is the question first of all? When the Vijnana is not moving, Spandana is not happening, how the Abhasas are seen? First answer, the Vijnana Atma is never Karana. Therefore, the Abhasas are not Karya. Karana Karya Sambandha is not there. Therefore, it is Janaka, it is Janya is not there. When he has not become Janaka, he is not Janya. Creator है तो ही created होगा ना. Therefore, Janya is not there, means it is Abhava. This is what the actual answer. Still, I am seeing for that question I have to answer. The answer is Achintya. What is meaning Achintya? It is answerless question. But it's not a solutionless problem. There is a problem solution is there. When you discover the self, you won't see the Jagat, you will not have the question. कि कहाँ से हो रहा है करके. This is the main thing you have to catch in Vedanta as crux. If some teacher doesn't explain to you or doesn't take this text or any text, it doesn't come to this point and say, then his Vedanta is not complete. And our sadhana can never be also complete. Two sentences only we will say again essence of it. What is that? Though the creation never happened, yet how it is appearing. To this question, the answer is answer can never given be. But the creation is a problem, it can be solved. When you discover the Parama Atma, the creation dissolves. When the creation dissolves, problem also ended, question also ended. Therefore, where should be the focus after this much of understanding? To come out of all problems, in discovering self only our attention should be. So keep on going toward the real self inside. When you experience him, Jagat goes away, then Jagat hai ya nahi, kahan se aaya, dikhega hi nahi. Conversely, till you don't experience the self as self, in that ignorance, inevitability of the Bhranti of the Jagat is there. Once Jagat is taken as real, though it is Bhranta, like the Bhranta Sarpa taken as real, the Bhaya Adi Samsara you can't avoid. In that we are now. We are now in the Samsara of all Raga Desha, Shoka, Dukha, of which is because of taking the world as real, which is actually abhasa, which is actually not there. नहीं रहने वाले जगत का आभास रूप में स्वीकार करके, सत्य के रूप में आभास रूप में प्रकट करके, सत्य के रूप में स्वीकार करके, फिर उसमें अलग अलग चीजें जोड़कर मसाले, वी आर सफरिंग. Like non-existing movie on the screen. You say it is there, it is real. First it is projected. Then it is taken as real. Then you really see it and feel all emotions. The movie में कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा, फिर भी emotions are created. That is what you have to catch. You are so happy when the hero is beating the villain. Where neither hero is there, nor villain is there, nor beating is there. Without them being, still you can suffer. Why? You are taking them as real, though they are not so. And when the villain is beating the hero and you feel miserable, means without the actual thing is there, still you can have a suffering because you can imagine that it is there. Entire world is not there, but you imagine it is there. That imagination is giving dukkha. When you discover the world is not there, all dukkha goes away. And you can never discover the world as not there till you discover the self which is there. Only when you discover the rope as rope that you can say there is no snake. You can never reject the snake without rope. So discovering snow. Because if you don't discover rope, if not as a snake, you will see it as garland or something else. तो आत्मा को आत्मा के रूप में नहीं देखो तो अनात्मा इस या उस रूप में प्रकट होगा ही हो फिर वो बंधन में डालेगा. This is how the subtlety of Vedanta. Now he says, so that is what Karakaranata Abhavat Janya Janakatva Anupapattehe Abhava Rupatvat Achintyate Yata Sada Eva. All this they are all achintya only. So don't worry about them. Worry should be only in discovering self. Discover the water, waves goes away. Don't think about wave where it has come from. Now, समुदाय अर्थ क्या है? यथा असत्सु रुज्व्यादि आभासेषु रुज्व्यादि बुद्धि दृष्टा अलातमात्रे तथा असत्सु एव जात्यादिषु विज्ञानमात्रे जात्यादि बुद्धि मृषा एव इति समुदाय अर्थः. The essence of the entire example and entire explanation of example and explanation of last two shlokas, the essence is this. Just like the non-existing abhasas are happening in the presence of Alatha, so too non-existing entire world is appearing in the presence of pure Atma, Vijnana Atma. So the Vijnana Atma is reality, the appearances are Mrisha, unreal. This is Samudaya Artha. Stick in this knowledge yourself. Get yourself established in this knowledge. Now you will never establish in this knowledge when at the Vyavahara outer level you are identified with so many things and beings. The more things and beings and identification attachments you will be bound by more obligations rather than studying or practicing the truth. That is why, even though you have intellectually understand that's truth, but to experience it and establish in it, you have to necessarily cut asunder all these vyavahara. Vyavahara you can cut only when you cut the relativity. A relativity cutting is called as sannyas. That is why only a sannyasi, a true sannyasi, who has cut all his relations, therefore who is freed from all his obligation, is fit and able to do this contemplation to reach the self. These obligations with relativity, either accepted by you or imposed by you, imposed on you. When you have wife and children, either you take care of them or court kicks you and tells you they are your wife and you take care. When you do talaq, then whatever to be given, then there is no responsibility. But somewhere else you marry again. Therefore, the final talaq from anything is taking sannyas. That I don't have obligation with the body also because body ko bhi मैं नहीं मानता हूँ, मेरा नहीं मानता हूँ. To him the Lord takes care because उसमें जो जीव साधना कर रहा है संन्यास लेकर उसको सस्टेन करना है उस देह में. That's called a योगक्षेम वहामि इत्यादि. So if I connect all of them, it becomes a big subject. Murusha eva. All abhasas of Alatha movements created are Murusha. So too, entire Jagat is Abhasa and Murusha from the standpoint of pure Paramatma. This looks to be so foreign or weird and unacceptable to the grossly involved people of Jagrat Stulata. But when we keep the Stula and start entering into the subtle world of contemplation, meditation, then the devalue of Stula happens, then you will be starting to accept it. Like absolute Nastika. When you start going to temple and listen to the words of Pujari and those mantrocharana, prarthana, and it is giving residual peace, etc., this useless Nastika slowly starts becoming Nastik. Astik. He left only completely the Lord, he was holding on to the samsara, therefore he had that problem. But slowly when he knows it, so when he starts listening to Shastra, then he'll understand the Karma Yoga, Ashtanga Bhakti, more deeper Upanishad when he listens, then he'll understand Vedanta. So the Paramanastika become Paramajignas. I'm just an example. In the same way, when you start living life at the subtler level, then subtle Vedanta's validity we become accepting. We accept it. If you live only at the grass level, subtle you will never understand or accept, nor the problem of the grass you can avoid. The solution for the grass is to enter into subtle. Solution for subtle is to enter into causal. Solution of the causal is to enter into that which has no gross subtle causal. This is how the Veda. Much more is there. Tomorrow we'll see. द्रव्यं द्रव्यस्य हेतुः स्यात् अन्यदन्यस्य चैव हि द्रव्यत्वमन्यभावो वा धर्माणां नोपपद्यते द्रव्यं द्रव्यस्य हेतुः स्यात् अन्यदन्यस्य चैव हि द्रव्यत्वमन्यता अन्यभावो वा धर्माणां नोपपद्यते द्रव्यं द्रव्यस्य हेतुः स्यात् अन्यदन्यस्य चैव हि द्रव्यत्वमन्यभावो वा धर्माणां नोपपद्यते एवं न चित्तजा धर्मः चित्तं वापि धर्मजम् एवं हेतुफला जातिं प्रविशन्ति मनीषिणः एवं न चित्तजा धर्मः चित्तं वापि धर्मजम् एवं हेतुफला जातिं प्रविशन्ति मनीषिणः एवं न चित्तजा धर्मः चित्तं वापि न धर्मजम् एवं हेतुफलाजातिं प्रविशन्ति मनीषिणः यावदेतुफलावेशस्तावदेतुफलोदयः क्षीणे हेतुफलावेशे नास्ति हेतुफलोद्भवः यावदेतुफलावेशस्तावत् हेतुफलोदयः क्षीणे हेतुफलावेशे नास्ति हेतुफलोद्भवः यावदेतुफलावेशस्तावत् हेतुफलोदयः क्षीणे हेतुफलावेशे नास्ति हेतुफलोद्भवः. These next four shlokas are $1,000,000 worth. Here really lies what exactly to be understood and practiced. So don't miss next 2 days classes. Okay. Thank you. Om, 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 Om. Samashti Drushti for all Vyavaharika purposes, psychological purposes, spiritual purposes is better. Therefore, invoke the Shakti of thinking, doing for Samashti, rising above the Veshti was today's beautiful thought in our Shakti series. Continue tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasa Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. परमऋषिभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रुतिमात्रे नमः ओम तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Thank you, friends. We'll do our Parayanam today. From 23 we will do today, I think. We'll do the Parayanam for 10 minutes. Oh.